Road to glory? Man, you're gonna need to be Einstein for this one. What up, family? You already know who it is, and you know what we're here to do. Talk more about college football, road to glory to be exact. But before we get into all that, I'm gonna go ahead and need you to smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. It's only a thumb movement, and it helps me out tremendously. And I will be giving away a copy of College Football, deluxe version to be exact, to one of my lucky subscribers tomorrow, July 12th. So hey man, go ahead hit the subscribe button. It could be you. Man, now let's get into this info. Alright, so first things first, let's go ahead and talk building road to glory, because what EA really did was they talked to current and past athletes to try to get the most authentic, engaging, and replayable experience to capture for everybody when it comes to being a college athlete. Talking about wanting to capture the challenges and balances of athletes, hey man, that sounds good. So basically what that means is within this road to glory, you're going to be making a lot of decisions, right? And every decision is going to count. And they said especially with time management. So all these things can give you multiple storylines and different pathways to give you a unique experience, which sounds crazy to me. Now let's talk creation. The first thing you got to do is you got to initially create your player, right? And when you create your player, you got 4 paths to choose from. You could be elite, which is a 5-star prospect starting off with a high 79 overall, and you basically expect it to play immediately on the field, right? And you also start with 1 extra mental ability, and you start with 5 starting skill points. Now as a blue chip, you can be considered a 4-star recruit. You're going to start with a 75 overall. You also get that 1 mental ability, and you get 4 skill points. Now a contributor is a 3-star recruit, and you have to work to get on that field, and you start off with only 3 skill points. And so an underdog is a 2-star, and you start off at a 60 overall. Now this is your hardest path, period, and you only receive 2 skill points. This is going to be for all those who start to master road to glory and they want a challenge. Underdog is going to be for you. Now after you pick your path, you got to pick your position, and the positions you can play is quarterback, running back, wide receiver, linebacker, and DB, corner. It's the only ones you can play, right? You get to pick your archetype, which your archetype is going to be very important when you're doing this, right? So each one has its own special ability dealing with the archetype that you choose. So choose wisely. Don't just pick anyone, willy-nilly anybody. Nah, really think about it. Because whatever you do is going to customize your player's ability on what they can do and can't do off the field, all right, and on the field. You will get to customize your player's look and positions having 3 mental abilities tied to weekly agenda meters. Each ability has an activation and deactivation requirement. You can be a fan favorite, which is home game composure increase. This ability is tied to your academics, so you need above a 3.0. Anything below, it's going to be turned off. 3.0 and up, it's going to stay on. Road dog. Road dog, it sounds like what it is. You're going to be on a road game, and you're going to be able to keep your composure increase. Now, this is tied to your brand metering. So if you reach influencer, the status will be turned on. If not, it's going to be off. And you got clear-headed. Now, this limits the amount of composure you can have during the game, right? So you don't get rattled when you're in the gameplay. This is tied to your leadership. So the better leader you are, it'll be turned on if you're an excellent leader. If not, it's going to be turned off. If you select elite or blue chip, like we were talking about earlier, don't forget you gain an additional mental ability. So what it'll be, we don't know. You would have to pick it, but you will get an extra 1. Once you finish this selection, you already know what time it is. It's time for road to glory. All right, so you're the recruit now, right? And so what this basically means is you're going to have an interview with a local news station, and within that interview, you're going to be asked a series of questions. Now, depending on how you answer those questions is going to dictate what schools are interested in you. So, hey, don't just click anything to hurry up and get by. You better pay attention to what you're saying. And so as soon as you get done with those questions, boom, it becomes signing day. Now, with signing day, you're going to see a list of every school that's interested in you. And so within this, there's going to be an interest bar, right? And within that bar, it's going to be green, yellow, whatever it could be to let you know what schools are very interested in you, all right? But see, what you need to do is you need to look at the school's previous record, because you can check it, and also look at the depth chart of the position that you are currently in, because you need to see who's in front of you and who you may be fighting for actual a spot within that school. And you know what I'm saying? Because you will have position battles at some point. So it's your best interest to make sure that whatever school you pick, all those things make sense to you for your type of player. So now once you pick your school, now you got your weekly management. So just like real athletes, you're going to have to manage your on and off the field activities. So that's going to be the two main events of focus when you see it, right? It's going to be the practice, and in practice you dare to gain your coach's trust and possibly move up the depth chart. And then your weekly agendas, this is how you allocate your various activities, i.e. from weight training to academics, from socializing, and even boosting your brand. And don't forget rest. All these things will be tied into your weekly agendas, and you have so many points that you need to allocate. So you need to choose wisely because everything affects your performance on the field. Now what AI say? We talking about practice? Now look, man, they got team mini games for practice, and they got skill mini games for practice because you're going to need it. And when you get these practice points, you earn XP, which helps you boost up and helps you get better on the field. So I would advise you to do these mini points to get your coach's trust and stuff like that. But now understand, if you get a certain level of a medal of achievement, like you get a gold, you can simulate through this and keep it pushing, and then you'll always get that gold over and over. But I mean, ain't nothing wrong with doing these mini games to, get your skills up. Now, when I tell you they say putting the student and student athlete, that's exactly what they meant, man. So when managing your activities off the field, it will be represented by energy. Now, by default, you're going to have 5 energy points to spend per week. If a short week, you're only going to get 4, and if a bye week, you get 6. You are juggling between 5 activities each week. Your first activity, academics. Now, academics is going to deal with your test readiness. So spending time each week will help you stay high so that you'll be able to do well on your quizzes and your midterms. Your GPA will be affected by your test scores, obviously. So how you prepare for these tests and basically how you spend energy will show you on the screen bar. Will let you know where you're at. You need to maintain the 2.0 to stay eligible. If you are ineligible, you will be forced to take study hall and lose half of your energy points until you become eligible again. So it would behoove you to make sure you maintain that GPA and keep it high. And don't forget that fan favorite is also tied to your GPA. So that mental ability, if you can keep it above a 3.0, will be active on every game day. So next we got leadership. Now leadership is having a high leadership level. This will provide you with weekly bonuses for coach's trust. This will also affect your team's starting composure. So basically, as a leader, you can either boost your team up to be great or you can tear them down to be horrific. And also remember that with that, the mental ability that's tied with that is clear-headed. So you want to have that active if you are where you need to be as far as an excellent leader. Now, it wouldn't be college football without health, right? So when dealing with health, you got to allocate a certain time for recovery. And unlike Dynasty, Road to Glory, you will not automatically recover when you advance the week. Your health will stay the same unless you give the proper recovery time for your player to heal. And guess what? If you don't give the proper recovery time and you try to slide into the next game, if your coach feels like your wear and tear is too bad and your health is down too low, then guess what happens? He'll sit you. So make sure you're using the energy points to take care of your recovery time. Now, training, this is going to help you develop your player's skills and enhance your player's performance as an athlete. You will earn XP completing in-game goals. As you earn XP, you will see it on your progression bar. Once the bar reaches 100%, you will earn another skill point that you can use. You will also get XP for gameplay, but if you train, you can also get XP as well, so you can move up faster. But understand, when you training, you will take a small hit on your wear and tear, so you got to manage this wisely. So let's talk brand. You already know what this is. This is Neil Deals. So this is basically increasing your influence and followers, which will help you land Neil Deals. Once you reach influencer, you will unlock the road dog mental ability that we talked about to keep your composure on road games. But again, if you don't reach influencer, then you won't have it. Now, you know they got scenarios and dilemmas. A lot of different scenarios will be thrown at you. And man, it will be a lot. You need to be careful making decisions because every single decision will affect you one way or another. So if you take some time off, it's going to affect you one way or another. Don't miss class because it will affect you one way or another. So when we talking Neil Deals, you will get a Neil Deal opportunity. But you must have an open slot of that Neil Deal to be accepted. Now, when you use nil deals or when you accept nil deals, this is actually off-field activities. So energy is gonna come at a cost. It's gonna take a hit on your energy. So read them carefully, because some may be 2 energies a week, or it could be 1. So make sure you just read that to understand it. But the whole thing is all nil deals, they do come with their perks as well, which can give you gameplay bonuses and off the field bonuses depending on what nil deal you are and the stipulations behind it. So again, read carefully. So let's talk coaches trust and position battles. You will be able to see in the coach trust screen where you are on the depth chart in relation to other players. As your points increase, so does your teammates depending on the games. So look, depending on their gameplay is whether their points go up or go down. And so that's how it goes. And with a position battle, once you have accumulated enough points, you can trigger a position battle. So what this basically is you're challenging the person above you in their depth chart for that spot. You will end up doing a total of 3 mini games, and you need to win 2 out of the 3 mini games in order to win that spot. If you lose this position battle, you will need to climb your way back up to be able to challenge that player again later. You just don't get to stay where you were at. You drop it all the way back down, and you're going to climb your way back up to challenge that person. Now, if you win the spot, don't think you're just chilling, because just like you climbed up to challenge him, that same player can climb up to challenge you, especially if you're not having strong performances on the field. So everything you do trust me, man, it literally is going to affect you in every single way. So don't get complacent. And with skill groups, you will use skill points to increase your ratings, but depending on your archetype, the cap is going to be 10, and some are even lower than that. The cap is represented by the player's potential. So once you reach that cap, you cannot upgrade past it unless the coach has the limitless or put a ring on it ability. So let's cover mental and physical abilities. To upgrade your mental and physical abilities, it will depend on what you do on the field. As your stats improve, your abilities will go from bronze to silver and to gold. Remember, these are tied to your decisions. You can also use skill points to upgrade your abilities if you meet the requirements. But again, if you have those upgraded and now they're silver or gold, but your GPA drops, then guess what? You're not going to be able to use that ability. So you got to juggle all this stuff together, man. This is crazy. So let's talk the most important thing, man. Let's talk about game day. When playing these big road games, you will experience the same issues that come with home field advantage. Now, if you got the right abilities and they are active, it will help you tremendously in dealing with that environment. There is also a new camera angle to enhance the immersion of you being in that game. So it's just not going to be backed out like it used to be. Now it's going to be sort of a weird camera angle. But pre-snap, you are able to hit R2 and it'll open up the coach's cam so you can see the field better. Now you got to be smart and you got to manage your wear and tear. So making decisions on every play to preserve your health is kind of crazy. So what that means is you can take a play off, which will reserve your health, but the result of that may hurt you overall. And if you're too hurt or your numbers, like say your body's in the yellow, the coach may just sit you down for the rest of the game. So you need to be aware of your damage, which you will be able to check on your screen. Also, if you start the game with too much damage, you may not even play. So you might be able to suit up, but you're going to be looking from the pine if you don't get your stuff together. Now we got to talk play calling. You will have limited access to the playbook initially. So once you gain the coach's trust, you'll be able to call more plays and choose different plays. But again, within these plays, they're going to come up on the screen and you'll be able to press Y or triangle to see an additional 2. So basically a total of 5. And you'll have a certain amount of number of times you can change a play. So that will also be on the screen. So if, like, say you don't like any of the plays and you want to change it, if you change it, then that little number is going to tick down. So you can only do that so many times throughout that game. But you still have to earn the coach's trust to be able to even be able to do that. So initially, just understand you're just about to be a yes man. Now, you know it would not be college football if we didn't talk about the transfer portal. So at the end of the season, you as a player will be faced with a decision whether to stay loyal to your team or hop into that portal and explore new opportunities. When transferring, though, it won't be random schools, but schools who align with what your player did that year. So if your player balled out, then it's going to be schools that paid attention to that and they're going to seek him out and try to get him to come to their school. So that's a nice little touch, and it also gives you the right to explore different opportunities if you feel like the school ain't for you, or you want to transfer to get an opportunity to try to be put in a better light to maybe win a Heisman or go for a national championship, because the school you at ain't cutting it. So either way, that portal will be available to you. But understand, if you didn't ball out, then don't even look in it, basically. And at the end of your journey, when it's all said and done and you done completed your 4 years and you've done all that you can do to mount up your stats and whatever accolades you have a choice where you can start over and create a new one, or you can import that individual into Madden 25 Superstar mode where you can continue your career as an NFL player, which is very nice. But obviously, you're going to have to wait until August before you can continue that career. So you're probably going to go through 2 or 3 players before you boost them up. So what do I think about the game mode? I think you better be single or have an understanding wife like mine, because that's going to take a lot of time off your plate playing that game, boy. I ain't going to lie to you. And it's a lot of decisions you got to make. So that's why I said you need to be Einstein with that. But if you like that, I feel like, hey, man, they really put in a lot of good features into that to make sure that you get the experience you're looking for. So I tip my hat to EA for that one, because that's kind of dope. And if you like the content, man, you already know what I'm finna say, man. Hit the button, man. Hit the button, man. Subscribe. Holla at me, man. We got a couple more days, man. A couple more days. And from what I'm hearing on the streets, the game may drop a little earlier than expected. And I'm praying for that. But either way, man, we only got a couple more days left. So, hey, holla at me in the comments what you think, how you feel. You nervous? You feel good about it? Do you like this Road to Glory, or do you not? Are you going to play it, or are you not? I'm always up for conversation and discussion when it comes to college football. You already know. And if ain't no one told you that they love you today, just know that Jesus loves you, man. Peace and love.